everyone, it's been a long time, but I am back and ready to review. I would explain where I've been in the last 7 months, but quite frankly, let's be honest, none of you guys care. Today, instead of looking at a book, I will be reviewing a movie that I'm pretty sure all of you guys know very, very well. Released in November of 1992 to critical acclaim and commercial success, Aladdin has gone down in film history as part of the holy quartet that is the Disney Renaissance. As beloved as this movie is, I often feel Aladdin is actually the least appreciated out of the four, especially when it's compared to the prestige of the three other movies. If The Little Mermaid was the muse that sparked Disney's reawakening and Beauty and the Beast and Lion King were its valedictorians, Aladdin was more of that fun, popular kid everyone loved but never really took seriously. You know he was always good for a laugh, but you never gave him the same respect because he was always ditching class or giving the teachers a hard time. Aladdin has also come under criticisms for its inaccurate portrayal of the Middle East. Like, was it okay for Jasmine to dress exactly the same as the brothel girls?
How dare you?
Also, we can't forget this little mishap.
Where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
Some people have even claimed that the movie feels dated because of all the pop cultural references, which I will get to later. Regardless of all of those legit criticisms, I shamelessly love this movie. Not only is it so much fun from beginning to end, but I honestly believe that people tend to overlook at just how clever and subtle the writing in this movie is. So it's really hard for me to know where to begin. Hey, big cave thingy, what do you suggest? That's a great idea. Let's begin with none other than our very own hero.
Prince Ali Ababwa.
Uh-huh.
Come on, let's get out of here. Gotta keep one jump ahead of...
Aladdin as a protagonist stands out to me because he has one of the best, if not fastest, character setups I've ever seen. From the beginning of the one jump sequence to the end of its reprise, it clocks out at around 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And within that time, you learn everything you need to know about Aladdin. You learn that he is a confident, smart, wisecracking thief who has a monkey for a best friend, as you do. You see his daily routine on the streets, what his skills are, his kind heart, and his yearning for a better life. And I love how you are presented with what seems to be your charming, confident hero, and just how quickly it switches at a drop of a dime.
You are a worthless street rat. You were born a street rat. You'll die a street rat, and only your fleas will mourn you.
It's just really effective storytelling, and what's more is that all of that information is completely vital to the rest of the movie. For instance, when he promises the genie to set him free, it makes complete sense he would do something like that because you've seen him do it before, which only makes it all the more heartbreaking when he goes back on it, or when he stacks lie on top of lie on top of lie in order to impress Jasmine. And it's really the heart of this movie, watching Aladdin come to terms with who he is and realizing his own worth within himself. And to me, this honestly makes him one of the most moving and poignant characters of the Disney canon. Also, can we just address the fact at how incredibly attractive he is? I mean, it's not just the hair and the eyes, but oh my god, he has like some of the best game I have ever seen.
Right, a prince like you. And every other stuffed shirt, swaggering peacock I've met.
Mayday!
I mean, in the first act. The first act.
Abu says, that's not fair.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, of course.
And does Abu have anything else to say?
Well, he wishes there was something he could do to help.
Not that, like, I still covet any feelings towards a animated character. No, no. That would be sick.
What's wrong with her? She's crazy. He's gorgeous.
Aesthetically wise, Aladdin easily holds its own up against its other siblings. It has some of the boldest color schemes, fantastic editing, great shots, and the best animated expressions I've ever seen in any animated movie. And that's saying a lot when one of the characters is a freaking carpet. I also can't talk about this movie without mentioning Jasmine. After much deliberation, she is my favorite Disney princess. While she may arguably play second fiddle to Aladdin, maybe even third if you count the genie above her, she still has as much autonomy and personality as any of her male counterparts. Not only is she brave and defiant to the end, but she pulls her weight in the film. I mean, she will take one for the team when the chips are down. You gotta respect something like that. I also really appreciate at just how sharp the writers made her. In fact, I will argue that she has the best bullshit detector out of all of the Disney characters.
You are the boy from the market. I knew it. Why did you lie to me?
Jasmine, I'm sorry.
Did you think I was stupid?
No!
That I wouldn't figure it out?
Now, technically speaking, yes, she still falls for Aladdin's lies. But can you honestly blame her?
Well, you know, royalty going out into the city in disguise. I mean, it sounds a little strange, don't you think?
Not that strange.
God damn it, Aladdin, you smooth motherfucker. Also, in terms of writing, Aladdin and Jasmine are the best Disney couple ever. And yes, I will fight you on that. And I'll tell you why, because it's not what you think. You'll probably theorize that my logic lies in the whole new world sequence or that sweet balcony kiss or one of their heart-to-heart conversations. None of those reasons whatsoever. The way you know that these two belong together lies within the first 20 seconds of them meeting each other.
I've been looking all over for you.
What are you doing?
Just play along.
You, know this girl?
Sadly, yes. She is my sister. She's a little crazy.
She said she knew the Sultan.
She thinks the monkey is the Sultan.
Oh, wise Sultan, how may I serve you?
This complete stranger tells her to play along, and immediately she hits all of her marks like she's some freaking improv queen. It's such a great scene, not only because it's hilarious, but it immediately establishes these two as equals. They are both quick and smart and can think on their feet. They are compatible with one another. They already have a connection before actually having their first real conversation. And I haven't even gotten to the sheer genius that is this scene, because I am willing to bet my weight in gold that you never noticed this either. While they could have easily made this as a standalone meet-cute scene, what you probably don't know is that it totally comes back into play by the third act.
Jafar. I never realized how incredibly handsome you are.
I am just so in love with how they executed this plot point because it never calls attention to itself. The movie doesn't wink at the audience going, remember what we did in the first act? Well, we're doing it again! Aladdin doesn't even give Jasmine any cues other than to remain quiet that he's come back. All that happens is Jasmine sees him, figures it out by herself, and then boom, seduction mode. Not only does this reestablish the dynamics between Jasmine and Aladdin and just how badass of a princess she is, but it also creates this great connective tissue throughout the movie. An interesting thing to note is that DreamWorks did the exact same thing in The Road to El Dorado. And was it even half as subtle?
Guard! Arrest him! You dare to impugn my honor? He was the one who was cheating. Arrest him! You're not a god? You lied to me?
Yeah, I didn't think so either, Miguel. This tactic is actually called repetitive designation, where something seemingly insignificant is referenced, only for it to pop up again way later to reveal its relevance to the plot. And the crazy thing is that this movie actually does it 3 other times, albeit a little less subtly. The second time with the apple.
So, where you from?
What does it matter?
The third time, do you trust me?
You trust me?
What?
Do you trust me?
Yes.
And last but certainly not least, the genie stuff.
It's all part and parcel the whole genie gig.
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
Itty bitty living space.
I mean, it's really no wonder they wanted to submit this screenplay for Oscar consideration. The reason why they were turned down?
Let's blow this popsicle stand!
According to Disney lore, Robin Williams had improvised around 16 hours of material for the animators to rifle through until they finally came up with the character we have today. And because so much of what they used deviated from the script, Robin kinda inadvertently screwed them out of an Oscar nomination. At the same time, it was the first animated movie to gross over $200 million. So boo freaking who. The other consequence of having Williams on board that I don't think anyone anticipated was that it changed the face of animated movies that we know today, for better and for worse. Mostly for the worse. Now, I actually don't really have any issue with the genie, quite the contrary. My main issue really lies with his successors.
Often imitated.
But never duplicated.
I mean, some of them range from okay to pretty decent. Others, you learn the film could have been way better without them. And then there are some that are just dead on arrival.
After 100 years, you got a little nuts!
Where so many others have failed, Genie succeeds because he is not just delegated as the comedic relief. He is still a character first and foremost. He still has his own desires, his own demons, and his own ethical struggles, just like Aladdin. And when everything does come full circle for him, it is arguably the most satisfying part of the movie.
Quick! Wish for something outrageous. Say, I want the Nile. Wish for the Nile. Try that.
I wish for the Nile.
No way!
In regards to the movie feeling dated, I do kind of see people's point, but I also really disagree with it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not the most timeless material, but the thing that makes the pop culture references work for me is that it never makes me feel alienated for not knowing the context for every single one of them. Like, okay, no joke, ever since I was a kid, this was always my favorite impersonation.
There are a few provisos, a couple of quid pro quo.
And I had no idea who William F. Buckley was, and it doesn't matter. And when he does do an impersonation, it's mostly used to get a point across.
All right, Sparky, here's the deal. If you want to court the little lady, you gotta be a straight shooter. Do you got it?
Aladdin was definitely the movie that took itself less seriously. For a long time, it was the most fast-paced, action-packed, and comedic out of the Disney movies. It was the popcorn movie of the Disney Renaissance, the Indiana Jones of the Disney oeuvre. Which I'm totally all for, especially when you look at the 3 movies that followed it.
And worse!
Jesus! Objectively speaking, I can't say that Aladdin is the best out of the 4, but it is without doubt the most unique. It knew when to take itself seriously, when to crack a joke, and when to take risks, which they did a lot of. It was the first of its kind, and to this day, it is the best of its kind. No matter what anybody else says, this movie will always be a prince to me. This concludes another episode of Booked with a capital D, and until the next page, I'm gonna try to find myself a magic lamp.
I'm in the mood like to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me. Oh, my. No, no.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.